Okay, let's think about this. Can one single, really terrible act, can it doom you forever? Or is there always some way back? No matter how bad things get or how long, how impossibly long the journey takes.
That's a huge question. And it's actually right at the heart of this amazing story we're looking into today.
Exactly. So welcome everyone to this deep dive. We love unpacking these kinds of extraordinary stories from, history, tradition,
Yeah.
trying to find those surprising bits of insight.
Yeah.
And today we've got this ancient Buddhist account. It really challenges, I think, almost everything we assume about consequences, about
It
redemption.
really does. Our source for this, well, frankly, remarkable tale, it comes from a text called Dhammaruci's Journey, Redemption from Avicii to Arahantship. Specifically, it's from the Dhammaruci Thera's Abhidhamma. That's an old collection of verses.
Right. So our mission today is to sort of trace this unbelievable path of one person's existence. We'll explore the powerful ripples of actions across these vast stretches of time.
Vast is an understatement.
Yeah, truly. And this idea of long-term karmic consequences, but also, and this is the key part, the possibility, however unlikely it seems, of purification, of insight.
That enduring potential.
Exactly. We're going to try and pull out the core lessons and maybe some of the most surprising turns from this ancient story for you.
Okay, so to really get the scale of this, we need to go way back. I mean, far, far back in time. Think cosmic scale.
Okay.
Eons ago, there was a Buddha named Dipakara, and he made this profound prediction to a sage, a wise man named Sumedha.
A prediction. What kind?
He declared that Sumedha, this sage, would himself become a Buddha, but countless ages in the future, like an almost unimaginable amount of time later.
Wow, okay, so that sets a pretty epic stage. Where does our main character come in?
Right here, at that exact time, there was this young Brahmin youth, full of promise, apparently. His name was Megha.
Mega.
And Megha hears Dipakara's prophecy about Sumedha, that he's destined for supreme enlightenment someday. And hearing this it moves him deeply. He's filled with this incredible devotion.
So inspired by someone else's future enlightenment.
Exactly. And what's really striking is what he does next. Megha immediately, basically, renounces the world. He takes up this rigorous training, the Patimokkha, the code of conduct for monks.
He didn't waste any time.
Not at all. He even goes forth with Sumedha, the future Buddha, as an ascetic, fully commits to the spiritual path right alongside him.
So Mega starts out incredibly disciplined, really virtuous.
Absolutely. The account says he was, restrained, mindful, energetic, pure in his livelihood, totally dedicated to the teachings. It really paints this picture of someone starting from a place of, remarkable purity.
Okay, establishes the baseline. High potential.
Very high. But, and this is where the story takes that dramatic turn, life throws curveballs.
Look at these.
And for Megha, this curveball was, catastrophic. While he's living this deeply disciplined life, he somehow gets misled. The source calls it a wicked friend.
Bad influence.
A profoundly bad influence, it seems. This friend causes him to fall from the true path, to completely abandon the righteous way he'd embraced so strongly.
And this is where it gets really dark, doesn't it?
It gets incredibly dark. The text says he becomes dominated by unwholesome thoughts. He turns away from the teaching entirely, and then, tragically, under this negative influence, he commits what's known as an ānantariya Kamma.
ānantariya Kamma. I know that term. Those are the big ones, right? The absolute worst actions.
Exactly. They're considered so severe in Buddhist thought, so heinous, that they're said to ripen immediately. No delay. They lead straight to the lowest realms of suffering.
And in Mega's case, what did he do?
He killed his own mother.
Wow. From dedicated ascetic to matricide. That's an almost unbelievable fall.
It really makes you pause, doesn't it? The power of negative influence, the depths a mind can apparently fall to.
Absolutely. So the consequence, you said these actions ripen immediately.
Instantly. The result of this horrific act, coming from such a corrupted mind, was that Megha fell straight into Avicii hell.
Avicii. That's the lowest, isn't it? The worst of the worst.
That's how it's described. A terrifying, blazing realm. It's considered the most agonizing place, almost like a spiritual black hole, reserved for acts that just shred the fabric of virtuous existence. Like killing a parent, or an enlightened being.
The duration, I remember reading something staggering.
Oh, it's mind-boggling. He experienced hellish torment, therefore. Okay, the text gives a specific figure. 4 innumerable asankaya lactive eons of period.
4 innumerable asankaya. I mean, just one eon is practically forever, right? Like that mountain and the feather analogy.
Exactly, an almost incomprehensible time scale. And this was 4 innumerable ones. The scale is just beyond us. And crucially, during this entire vast period, he never once saw Sumedha, the bodhisattva, again.
It sounds like eternal damnation. Like, truly, no hope, no escape, ever.
From our usual perspective, yeah, absolutely. It seems utterly final. And this is where the story just flips everything on its head.
Okay, I'm ready. After all that, what happens?
After those untold ages, suffering in the absolute depths of Avicii, somehow, in this very eon, meaning our current cosmic cycle, he gets reborn.
Reborn after that. Where? As a week.
Not as a human, not even as like a bug or something small. He's reborn as a giant fish.
A giant fish?
Yeah, a Tamingala, described as this creature of immense size, living in the ocean. And the story picks up with this monstrous fish approaching a ship, seeking food.
So from the deepest hell to a colossal hungry fish in the sea, that's quite a rebirth path.
It's an incredible leap, isn't it? But then comes the moment, the absolute pivot point in this whole insane journey.
The ship, the merchants.
Exactly. The merchants on the ship see this enormous creature coming towards them. They panic, naturally, and in their terror, they shout out loud the name of the supreme Buddha of our time, Gautama.
They just yell the Buddha's name out of fear.
Yes, and here's the truly profound part. What happens next? The Tamingala, this giant fish, upon hearing that sacred name, Gautama,
Yes.
it remembers. The text says it remembered that ancient aspiration.
That long-lost connection from when he was mega eons ago.
Apparently, that flicker of devotion buried under unimaginable suffering and time. Hearing the name sparks this memory, and in that instant, the Tamingala dies.
Dies just from hearing the name and remembering.
Immediately. And at that very moment, he's reborn again, this time into a prosperous household in a city called Savatthi. As a human, a Brahmin by caste.
Wow. So wait, a single memory, a flicker of a past good intention triggered just by hearing the Buddha's name. That was enough. Enough to pull him out of that cycle, even after the hell realm and the animal birth.
It seems so. That's what the text suggests. It's quite incredible, isn't it? It implies that even the most deeply buried positive karmic seeds, those roots of merit, they don't necessarily vanish. They can eventually sprout, given the right conditions.
That is deeply profound. Okay, so he's reborn as a human now in a good family. What's his name?
He's named Dhammaruci, which is significant. The name means something like one who delights in Dhamma, or perhaps one who finds evil abhorrent. A complete turnaround implied in the name itself.
Dhammaruci. And does he find his way back to the spiritual path quickly this time?
Incredibly quickly. The text says that at just 7 years old, he saw the light of the world. That's a term for seeing the Buddha Gautama himself.
At 7.
Yep. And he immediately goes forth, becomes a monk right there at the great Jetavana monastery, and he becomes incredibly devoted again, approaching the Buddha 3 times every single day and night. Full circle, in a way.
From Mega's initial devotion through that terrible fall, the eons of suffering the fish, Dhammaruci devoted once more.
Exactly. And then comes the recognition. The Buddha himself acknowledges Dhammaruci's immense journey. He states, long indeed has he cherished the Dhamma, this one, recognizing that deeply buried ancient connection.
The Buddha saw the whole arc.
It seems so. And then Dhammaruci himself reflects on it all. He articulates this profound understanding he's gained. He says he finally gets it past Kamma's power and fruition. How his actions, good and bad, even from way, way back, created these results.
He understands the cause and effect across lifetimes.
Precisely. And he acknowledges that he had developed pure roots of merit long ago, those positive potentials that lay dormant but weren't destroyed, and eventually ripened.
So even the matricide in the hell couldn't completely erase the earlier good karma?
That seems to be the implication, that the potential remained. He goes on to describe his path to liberation in this final life, how he practiced purification, how he gained deep insight, systematically removed all the defilements, the mental impurities.
And how does he put it? I remember some powerful phrasing.
Oh, it's very powerful. He says he dried up the river of craving with restraint, just completely eradicated that endless thirst that binds us to suffering. He purified his vision, now possessing eyes full of wisdom. It's this incredible description of achieving full liberation, arahantship, an awakening that literally transcended countless lives and unimaginable suffering.
Dried up the river of craving. Wow.
And then he connects it all back, concluding his reflection with this really moving statement. He says essentially, look, for a long time I was separated from you, meaning the Dhamma, the path, but I wasn't ruined, not lost forever.
Not lost forever. even after Avicii.
Even after Avicii. He continues, "Now again I have come back to you, for the words of Gautama never perish." It really highlights this incredible resilience of the path itself, and the possibility of return no matter how extreme the detour.
What an absolutely staggering journey. I mean, the scope of it: devoted youth, heinous killer, eons in the deepest hell, giant fish, and finally an enlightened monk narrative.
It covers pretty much the widest possible spectrum of existence, doesn't it?
It really does. So, thinking about this ancient narrative, what does it really tell us about purification? About the hidden power of just one virtuous connection, like remembering a name, and this enduring potential for transformation, even across these mind-bending spans of time and suffering. How does a story like this challenge our sort of modern, maybe more limited ideas about what's truly lost or what's actually redeemable?
That's the question to sit with, isn't it? What does redemption really mean when you look at a timescale like this? It certainly pushes the boundaries of how we normally think about second chances.